Hello, I'm Claire Moody and I'm going to share with you in this free training how to develop your courage. Courage comes in many forms. I am talking about being courageous with your decisions and improving your confidence. The definition of courage is the ability to do something that frightens one. Bravery, being brave, the quality of the mind or spirit that enables a person to face difficulty, danger, pain, and so many more. The heart is the source of emotion and spiritual courage. It is not as simple as courage. It is far greater than that. Having courage is a tremendous skill in life. And if we don't feel confident, then that courage will seem like something that just isn't there. So courage is in all of us. We just need to find it. I really feel your anxiety, pain, and apprehension. I know it hurts. So imagine a situation where you won't feel the apprehension to make a decision. Just imagine what that would feel like. Decisions, big or small, from choosing the right school for your kids, or maybe it's time for a change in career, your time instead of your partner's, or even flying in a plane on your own for the very first time. Courage is needed to make those steps. So really focus on that feeling where you will feel comfortable regardless of the outcome, not to have the pain or struggle to act when faced with decision making. Now, everyone feels stuck at times. Some don't even realize this. So feeling stuck actually feels like drowning, confused, the feeling of being insignificant. You want to move, you should, you have to, but you can't. I am so happy you are here. I promise you are going to learn with this free training. So here today, I'm going to share with you my 5 steps for building courage for any life decision. So when you follow through on my 5 steps, you will overcome your fears. And seriously, this will start to develop your courage for the future, a massive change in your life. So whether you are anxious about allowing your kids to do an activity that scares you, or the fact your kids have grown up and left home and you have lost your sense of purpose. So maybe you have lost your own voice and confidence because your partner has been so successful. You may have given your life and followed your partner around for years, and all of a sudden you feel lost. Life has changed for you. There are so many that sit in your shoes. You know, one client I worked with could not leave her home for 9 months. She allowed her anxiety to take over. Now she is running a successful business. So how did she do this? She followed these 5 steps I'm about to teach you. She was transformed. She took the massive leap of being courageous and is now a totally different person. So I've worked with mums who struggled to get onto the bus or walk out the back gate. One mum struggled so much she hasn't been able to take her kids to school. To all the young mums out there who struggle with daily choices, that feeling of pain, that you can't take it anymore, I hear you. Another area that I have helped hundreds of people is in the aviation world. Now these include air traffic controllers and pilots. An example is Tom. One of my clients was so stressed about flying and the tough environment pilots have to face. So for him, that stress feeling would start even before he climbed into the cockpit. It would start as he showered in preparation. Then the stress really grew just before he had to climb into the plane. Now this stress took so much of his mental capacity away, and for a pilot, even losing 20% mental capacity can be catastrophic. Something has caused his mind to be in some form of chaos, and it needed untangling, and it needed fixing fast. So how did he do this? He followed my 5 steps that I'm about to teach you. He is now a successful captain with thousands of hours. I have dealt with so many people in tough training environments where your head plays games and constantly tells you that you're not good enough. I have been in all of these situations and coached so many people, hundreds with recurring themes. The awful recurring themes of lacking faith in your abilities, feeling incapable of success, the lack of self-confidence that you may have carried since childhood. There are so many times you could have had more courage and confidence in your life, but you held back. Something got in the way. So to all of you, I hear your inner struggle. Life is tough when we don't have courage and confidence to move forward. We feel stuck to make that shift. And every day we may find ourselves clinging on by our fingers. It wears us down. Seriously, courage and confidence affects everyone. So what would you rather be? Well, help is at hand. I can help you. I have helped an enormous amount of people, hundreds in the same situation as you. Yes, thousands of hours with people who have struggled with confidence and courage and need some tips on how to break the barrier down. Seriously, smash it down. There is nothing for sale on this free training. And if you are serious and stay to the end of the training, there is a free gift waiting for you. So these 5 steps will be the critical change you need to be a better, more confident you. It is that moment of change you need to move forward. So who am I? Why should you listen to me? Well, I hold an MSc in Executive Coaching, which specialised in relational coaching, a degree in coaching supervision, a performance coach for the sports world and aviation industry. Now, I train and accredit coaches, and I'm a senior practitioner for the European Mentoring and Coaching Council. I know what I am talking about. I have 35 years of experience. I am talking 35 years, and I recognise patterns in people. I have witnessed these recurring themes, the feelings of anxiety, the lack of self-worth, the lack of self-esteem and confidence to make those changes in life. Always struggling when faced with adversity. I have invested in my own development over a number of years, and I can seriously help you. One of my key values is personal growth. You don't have to stay stuck. I see myself as an exchange of information, so stay on this free training so you can learn. So I am rated 5-star on Trustpilot reviews, and the testimonials you see here are from real clients who, just like you, needed courage and confidence to move forward in life, from all backgrounds and all sectors. Now, my aim for each and every one of you is to offer a safe space. I have so much knowledge to give, and this free training will help you. I am incredibly motivated and focused on unlocking life-changing insights with each and every one of you, encouraging the development of deeper self-awareness and personal insight. Your past is no indication of your future. Everyone can achieve change in whatever direction they choose, but they must decide and choose to do this, which is the key. Committing themselves wholeheartedly. Every one of you is special and deserves attention. You have permission to change, so treat this webinar as a safe container. Feel safe to open your heart and mind. So keep watching, and when you stay to the end, you will be rewarded with a free gift. If you would like to learn to lead your life and not let life lead you and be focused on you, then keep watching. I will show you the 5 steps. You have probably never had the right tools or not really sure how to deal with this. Well, you seriously are in the right place. So let's begin. Step 1. This is the first of 5 steps. Courage sorted. What does this look like? Ask yourself the question, what is developing courage? Your interpretation of this. The reason you need to ask yourself this question is that your courage will be different to the next person's. It is your opinion that counts. And this is where we start on our 5-step journey. So again, what does this look like to you? Think about it. It could be allowing your child to take up that activity that frightens you, or making the first step to start a new career after your kids have left home, that sense of purpose lost, or even having the responsibility of being in charge of millions of pounds of controlling or flying aircraft. Your courage is personal to you. A powerful change to all of this is to start to flip this thought. Ask yourself, how much courage do you have already? You'll have some. Seriously, think about your courage. The first one for me is you are here watching this. That is the first step. And the recognition you want change. You are to be congratulated on this. This is the start you need. Dig deep. You are on a journey. The beginning of courage sorted. Remember, we are on the path for this. So, let's flip your negative thoughts and think how courageous you are already. So 80% of your day will be in the negative. That is a fact. So let's shift those figures so more of your thoughts are positive. Scale yourself 1 to 10. 10 being very courageous and 1 being at the bottom. Imagine giving yourself a 3, but then think, how did I get to a 3 in the first place? 3 is still a positive, it's not a negative, because you have found a way to get to the 3. Just because it is a low number, this does not mean you're not very good. So that's how you flip your thinking from a negative to a positive. Then ask yourself, how can you get to a 4? Now this is you starting to build on your courage. This is the beginning of moving forward. Now, we will move on to the next step. Step 2. So this step will blow your mind. All the steps lead into each other and build like a brick wall. Layer 1 is the foundation. Then we build each layer on top. You can't jump to step 3 without doing steps 1 and 2 first. Seriously, stay watching. This is free training. And when you stay to the end, the free gift will be waiting for you. So, step 2, science of the mind authority. In this step, step 2, we are looking at the real self and the ideal self. You see, we have a visualized self and a real self. We create this expectation of where we think we should be, which is not the ideal self. And that's not realistic. The reason it's not realistic is because we don't take into account our limitations, the limitations of our real self. So in psychology, the real self and the ideal self are terms used to describe our personality perception. The real self is who we actually are. It is how we think, how we feel, look and act. The real self can be seen by others, but because we have no way of truly knowing how others view us, the real self is our self-image. Now, the ideal self, on the other hand, is how we want to be. It is an idealized image that we have developed over time, based on what we have learned and experienced. Now, this can affect us both personally and professionally. So in life, what our expectations are can be very different to the reality. Sadly, in our minds, we create our own disappointments. We create these from the expectations of where we think we should be. It's crazy. We all do this. But there is something important, and that is we forget to add in our thoughts that there are the limitations out of our control. So these can be areas such as scared to do something due to the fear of making mistakes. We tend to hold ourselves back. But with mistakes, actually, it is important to make them because mistakes create creativity. Limitations can be external examples like responsibilities in life that take your time. These are all limitations and they get in the way of the ideal self and real self. It is about thinking differently. So step 2, has looked at the real self and the ideal self, and that we can learn to overlap them and get rid of those limitations. Look for the areas that are real. Look at the inner strengths. There will be plenty. You will have just not paid attention to them. Oh, how we all create our own disappointments. So once you break the barriers down and see you, your actual self, then you will move forward. That is step 2, the science of the mind authority. Don't create your own disappointments. Be your actual self. So, step 1 was courage sorted. Step 2 was science of the mind authority. Now, the brilliant step 3 is coming up. It is a wow factor on this 5-step training and your own journey. Step 3, the ultimate power master. Now we are going to start to create that feeling of a positive person with courage and confidence. What is a confident person with lots of courage? Yes, think about it. When you look at someone and you say the words confident person, what is it about them that makes you say this? Yes, the list will likely go somewhere along the lines of high amounts of self-respect, high self-esteem, individuals who are overflowing with self-respect, feel good within their own skin. They acknowledge compliments. An example of this is, you look good in that shirt. They will just say, thank you. People who struggle with compliments will say, oh, it's old, or words to that effect. You know, confident people are comfortable looking in the mirror. Self-love. They like who they are. They focused on their strengths. They focus on the positives and not the negatives. The human brain has thousands of thoughts a day. Only 20% are on the positive side. You can take control of this if you decide to. They never compare themselves to anyone. They just don't care. So imagine the feeling of this person. Seriously, imagine what this feels like. How would your day go when you feel like this? And just think what this would do for you. Very powerful. So how do you start to feel like this? Simple. You start to believe it. Seriously, you can train your brain and start to believe this. The power of visualization. The human brain does not know the difference between what is real and what is simulated. It is a muscle. I'll say that again. The brain does not know the difference between what is real and what is simulated. It is a muscle. I've done plenty of visualization with my clients over the years, and the changes are so significant that people's lives are changed forever. From someone being able to leave the house after 9 months to someone who was able to go solo when they were training to be a pilot. For pilots, it is called armchair flying. Now, visualization is there for everyone to learn. All sports people use this. That is what makes them champions. Even in your everyday life, you will use this, but probably maybe not noticed it much. You just have to get started and you have to pay attention. So make a decision, think about it. How the day feels like as a confident person. From getting out of bed to going back to bed on the evening. Seriously, work through the day, break it down and imagine the feelings. Really notice how your feelings affect your behaviours, but do all of this in your head, sat down in a quiet place. It is amazing. It truly works. You just have to make the decision and get going. So train your brain. You are unique and you can do this. So this leads me into step 4, the transformational pathway. I am so happy you are still with me. Keep going. There is so much more to come. So just to be clear on what we have covered so far on this 5-step training, the first 3 steps were: step 1, courage sorted. Think how courageous you are already. Step 2, science of the mind authority. Focus on your real self, not an image that is unrealistic. Step 3, ultimate power master. The feeling of being a more confident person. So stay watching, 2 steps to go. Make sure you stick around. This is free training and I know this is helping you. And when you stay to the end, the free gift will be waiting for you. Now, the amazing step 4, transformational pathway. This step is moving forward and being on your journey, working through those hurdles and creating goals. Moving forward, being brave with spirit. Imagine setting goals daily and pursuing through them. Imagine being able to take the full ownership of short-term, mid-term and long-term goals. Everyone talks about goals, but it's such a huge area. I could teach and coach goals for days and hours because they're very personal and unique to you. So, why do you set goals? The answer to this is very simply ownership. If you set goals, you provide a pathway in your mind to have a purpose, to get somewhere. So setting goals triggers new behaviours and habits. Moreover, gives you a focus. So when setting your goals, you have to ask yourself, what do I ultimately want to achieve? Look at yourself. So how do you want to be 1 year from now? Mentally, physically, socially, personally. What does that look and feel like? Relationships. Are you happy? So how much do you value your relationships? Do you need to work on connecting with more people? Pick that phone up to make contact. Been thinking about it for ages, but not acted? Work. What job will you be doing? Where will you be working? What would you like to be different? You know, goals are important. Finances, that word. Do you have debts? You would like to pay them off? Are you saving for something in particular? Do you want to get on top of your retirement plans? Home. Are you saving to buy your own place? Pay your mortgage off? Current home improvements? They affect all of us. So here is a question. What would your partner say your goals were? Why not ask them? It may be a surprise and actually open up a blind spot you may have. Some great thought-provoking questions. And I have mentioned them for you to reflect on. So seriously, people who have goals, in fact, I know the figure is 70% of people who set goals achieve. Even better than that are people who write goals down. The figure is 90%, an unbelievable result. So create a 1 year from now exercise. And then 5 years from now. Remember, you can change your goals, but always create them. I always have goals. At the beginning of the year, my husband and I sit down and work out what we want from the year. We have always achieved. We've always achieved doing this. Remember, if you set goals and write them down, 90% achieve them. I mean, it's truly amazing. So every single day, look at what you have done towards your goals. Give yourself the focus. Every tiny step counts. Those marginal gains work best. Now, my final point on goals is to be accountable. Don't hide from what is happening. Make them fun and track your progress. Now, you'll be feeling really motivated now as you continue on your transformational pathway. I am so proud of you for watching this. I know this training will be having an impact on you. I have been in your shoes. Seriously, everything I have mentioned is very real. I've had so many clients and I shift them from where they are to where they want to be. It can be done. You just have to believe it and focus. So that was the amazing step 4. Now stay watching. This training is there to help you. And when you stay to the end, the free gift is waiting for you. Keep going. It is so worth it. Lastly, I have kept the best till last. Step 5, the superb fresh start for happiness. Your destiny is now mapped with a new ambition. This step is about the new you and the continued direction for happiness. How are you feeling right now with the future you and what success looks like? It's amazing. Yes, I know what a fantastic feeling that is. Now we need to feel that fresh start to happiness so that it's consistent in your thoughts. This is your future. Write your next chapter in life and start to lead your life, not let life lead you. So how do we do this? Yes, the power of reflection. I know everyone has heard of SMART objectives, but it is now smarter, enjoyable, and the power of reflection. I'm a big reflector. This is key to being aware of what has happened in the day. Reflection is probably the most powerful tool available to you. It has to be done correctly though, but it's free. So I would suggest always focus on the positives, why something has happened that day. Balance those positive with areas for improvement. If something has gone well, why has it gone well? What was different about you? So this is an area most won't even have considered. So start now. I reflect every single day and always have done. Write a few things down for 5 minutes at the end of the day. It works, I promise. So seriously, always ask yourself, what would you like to be different and how could you think differently? Two superb questions to continue on your road to success and your fresh start to happiness. My final tip is always make sure your confidence is appropriate. Always think why you can achieve your goals. Always think about yourself in a positive way. You can do it. Believe it. One past client quoted, "My experience in calm manner allowed him to move forward in his life, both professionally and personal. I understood how his feelings were getting in the way and how he had created such negative thoughts. He was so happy and motivated for his future after working with me." Actually, saving one person in a high training environment can save millions of pounds. Unbelievable, really. But it's for everyone. It is just about being in charge of your own mind. As I have mentioned, I have so much experience. I am now sharing this with you on this free training. I want you to change and move forward. Feel good about yourself. Our brains are so powerful, but they are a muscle. You just need to grip yours and take control. So my 5-step free training covered in this webinar was, in step 1, we looked at courage sorted. What does this look like and what it means to you? How to flip it and look at how much courage and confidence you have already. Then we moved to step 2, science of the mind authority, adapting a changed mindset, open to a new way of thinking. Learn to be your actual self. Then we moved into the ultimate power master, creating that feeling of a confident person. So very powerful. Step 4 was transformational pathway, moving forward with bravery and spirit, creating that shift. Then step 5, fresh start to happiness. Your destiny is now. What does it look like? So the foundations of your brick wall are established. Now I really believe that what I have taught you can change your life. I have packed these 20 minutes full of useful information to help you make effective changes in your life. But you have to put this into action, decide, and it is the action that is key. There is no point deciding, then sitting on the fence. I know if you have paid attention, you will be thinking about what you can change. Seriously, I know this journey. I have the experience and I've spent endless hours with people on this pathway. The worst opponent you will ever come across is yourself. Don't let this get in the way of change. Think about all the reasons why you can and not all the reasons why you can't. Now I want to make sure you get started, and that is why I've set aside a block of time this week so we can have a personal one-to-one chat with you for 45 minutes. Underneath this video, you should see a red button. That will send you to a link so you can book a call with me. Once you click that red button, you will be asked to fill out a brief questionnaire, and the answers will help me create the right journey for you to figure out where you have been stuck and how you can apply what I have taught you here to overcome your fears and concerns of developing your courage. This is an amazing free gift. Lastly, thank you for listening and giving me your precious, very valuable time. I really know this would have helped you. It's the start you need to move forward. See this as the beginning. You have permission to change. So start now. Don't let your brain talk you out of it. If you wait over 5 seconds, your brain will stop you. So count 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Press go. Your goals are clearly in sight.